Welcome to Super Chevy Brothers Podcast. Today is June 29th, 29th June, and this is episode 142 of the
It's
Super
not
Chevy Brothers
Juneteenth?
Pod. No, because we exited the 10th like 10 days ago.
Oh.
What is that? What's that? Some kind
Nothing.
of joke?
Yeah, just a little bit. It was a bad
That kind
one,
of a
but it was
joke?
an attempt. It was an attempt at a joke. Yeah, I tried.
I gotta check which bills I gotta pay. It's the end of the month. I didn't notice. How was your week? I heard you started trying to play a little bit of that Elden Ring. I heard you tried to get in that Elden Ring.
I'm here to eat my own words. So last week, whenever we recorded the podcast, I was feeling real down about Elden Ring because the DLC came out, and I was so sad because everybody else was playing it, and I couldn't play it because I had no idea what I was doing in my original game. Well, I'm here to say I stopped being a bitch and I I opened the game, and turns out the game's great. It's not that bad to pick it back up after a while. So I left off. Last place I left off was I was in Leyendell, or Leyendell, however you say it, the grand capital. And Shavar had taken me there at least partially, because last time I played with him and one of his friends. So that was like 6 or 7 months ago, though. So I remembered that that's what I was doing. So I just followed the critical path, fought Godfrey, got through some other stuff, relearned my controls after dying like 10 times, and yeah, game clicked right back for me. Then I remember the other reason I stopped playing was because the Lake of Rot. I got to that for Randy's quest, and it turns out that's not that bad either. I figured that out. I had the mushroom outfit.
Did you get through the Lake of Rot? Okay, you got the mushroom.
I got the mushroom head. I got the.
Okay, hold on. Did you get?
I had to make my boluses. I had the mushroom set already. I had the basic mushroom set. I forgot how I got it because I already had it on me.
There's another quest in another cave where you can get that set with full of mushroom men. I'm pretty sure we did that.
Oh, okay. That probably.
And then when you get in there, there's a better set. I think in the lake.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
And then did you fight in that rot lake? Did you fight anything?
Yeah, there's a boss. Yeah, there's a big boss.
One?
He's like a big Astorius from Dark Souls 1. He fought like a wolf. He's a big armored dude. He's sunk like halfway in the rot. I don't remember what his name was, but he's like a mini boss basically. He was a boss, but like he had a health bar and everything.
Did you get Did you fight one of the trees? The living.
Yeah, there was a tree. That was later on though. That was in the cloister.
Worm.
And in the cloister, there's a worm.
Yeah. When you get to that's right. It surprises you out the. Did you get the sword? I think you get it from killing the boss.
Yeah. You get a sword from killing the boss. After you finish Randy's quest, because Randy's quest, you keep going through the Lake of Rot, which, by the way, Lake of Rot is not that bad if you get the right items and you have enough boluses.
You have to,
and you kind of pay attention to where you go. It's not. It
rewards you for having explored previous.
Yeah. So, because I knew how to make the boluses, because I found that cookbook. I found the cookbook right before I went there because I was just kind of going around places, but.
Cookbooks, I miss them.
Finish Randy's quest because there's some boss you got to fight that's like this long dragon, weird dragon thing that shoots laser beams at you. I killed that.
Thing. When you get up to when you get to that plateau
you got to get in the coffin and which is this is like the third game.
The other
coffin. In the coffin.
Yeah. You saw Little Randy
likes that. Oh yeah, I did that a long time ago.
I talked
to Little Randy a long time ago. Yeah, so this is why I was doing this. Before you get to the Lake of Rot, you fight Blade, or like the Phantom version of Blade or whatever. Because you fight Blade twice. So yeah, so finish that quest, then you fight one more boss. I think. Well, you fight a dragon first.
And the dragon on the.
Yeah, you don't have to. I kind of figured out you don't really have to fight the dragon. I killed it anyway before I moved on.
You should,
but because
that area you want to run around and there's some stuff and.
Yeah, so finish that, Got the Moon Sword, which is that the classic
Yeah.
FromSoft
I
sword.
got two of
I don't have the
them,
stats for it.
baby.
I don't have the stats for it, so I'm gonna go respec because I'm at like level 98, I think, and I'm not doing everything I want to do. My stats are pretty spread out, which they don't need to be. So
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
would
go
say.
respec.
I mean, I haven't played the DLC, but I would say respec. Point yourself. What I did, I really liked that you could have all these magics and stuff. So I would. Yeah, I mean, you can go faith or something. Faith is pretty good too because there's a very good faith weapon that's great for farming. That I always wish. I'm like, oh, I wish I had more faiths. Then I could use this. There's some cool faith weapons. I went with magic because I like. There's a Kamehameha you can do, and there's you. I don't know. Maybe you got Ranny's
I heard magic was
spell.
busted in this game.
Some of it is, not
She
all
gave me
of it
several
is.
spells.
Okay.
I think was the last thing she told me was, I don't think there's much to do with her because she basically told me come back to her at the end of the game. So I was like, all right, cool.
You have to bring
So,
something to her. I think that's it. But it doesn't have to be at the end of the game.
well, no, I did look it up. It's not until the end of the game. I don't have to do anything else for her. Like I'm good. I
You
finished
got
her
to the
quest.
plateau, right? Where the church is?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can finish it now. I mean, you don't have to. I mean,
I
at the
already
end
did
of
it. I walked.
Okay.
Sure, I walked inside, talked to her, and then she gave me the sword. That's how it ends.
Okay, you got the sword. That's right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
use that sword. That's my
yeah.
main sword besides the katana, the regular one. The moonlight katana. That's the one I like using. That's the one I like
Yeah,
to use.
that one looks cool. Yeah, I'm gonna respec so I can use more of the magic swords because they look cool. I do like the bloody mace. That's what I've been using. I'm kind of addicted to it, but I'm ready to try something else because it's just kind of funny. I just whack shit upside the head. My guy's a strength build, so I can carry a lot of heavy stuff, but
That's
I
okay.
kind of want to switch it up.
You can do that. You can do that.
Well, I'm ready to. I want to do something else because it's kind of what I've done in every other Souls game. Is I carry
Have
the
you
big
been
fuck
to
off weapon.
the snowtops yet?
No, I haven't. I think that's the
Okay.
next place I go after
So
Landell. So
Elden Ring is kind of weird compared to other Souls because other Souls games have like little quests that you complete certain parts along the way of your main journey. This one has like there's the main quest and then there's like Ranny's quest. All the places you go for Ranny, you would not end up there any other way.
yeah, there's no way you would go there unless
Like
yeah.
and then there is another where you go up and there's like a baby Ranny. There is actually another way you'd get there, but that's through another quest to go kill another boss that you don't even know you've heard about, but then you don't even know that you can go and kill him until you like get there and like, oh, this is where he is. So that's a separate quest. Then there's the separate quest of you've heard of Melania and what's the one with the girl name but it's a guy?
Marika or
No, that's the queen.
I don't know. All the names is where I start getting confused. I get it that it's like a theme, but I can't remember all those.
The
names.
one that the DLC is about. Okay, so they already have a
That didn't
quest
help.
in. They already have a quest in the game. That you kind of can follow to get to the next spot. So when you get to like the snowy area, then if you go and do a certain thing, you get a certain item that takes you to like this next area. And then when you get through that area, which is real cool, it gives you another item to go to a super secret area, which is like on another side of the map, which is pretty cool. So it's like, yeah,
Sure,
I
whatever
mean,
any
you
of
can
that
do that
means.
if you're in level 98. I think you can go do like. Have you fought Melina? What's her?
No, dude. I'm just getting to Margot again.
Okay.
Well, the other Margit.
Okay. Did you fight the first
Legend of
market?
Landau.
Because even that one,
Yeah, dude. That's like the first boss, dude.
No. I'm sorry. So you're at the second. Okay. Do you know the difference between Margit and Moog?
Yeah.
Okay. So you fought the first Margit. You're going to the second Margit?
Yes. He's right up
Okay.
the stairs.
Okay. 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 You're
Yeah, I'm
okay.
in Landell. I thought you knew this game, dude. Come on.
No, I do know the game, but if you want, because you're there, have you found the prison?
No, because I haven't gone
Okay.
lower.
So when you're in Landell, go lower, find the prison. It's kind of weird because it's just like there's literally a hole in the ground, and you're like, I'm jump down there. You're in the prison. Find the prison.
Sure.
There's also another little secret area which is kind of cool. When you see it, you're like, oh, it's one of those.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, spoiler for people who've never played Elden Ring. I know what you're talking about. It's the old round table, and
yeah, yeah.
it's
You can
the
find the
exact same
the
building.
real place round table. Yeah,
Why do
it's
they do
exact
that?
same.
So they do that so many. He does that in every game. It's kind of funny. He does that in every game. And every game, I'm like, oh, like I'm like, what? Even though he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it every single game.
Okay,
No,
well,
I
okay,
found it. Like I literally like I wasn't expecting it, so I walked in and I was like, wait a second.
okay,
I was
great.
like,
If you go
uh,
down to the lane dell in the bottom part, there's the best bow in the game down there. It's a bow I've been using since I got it. It lets you fire like a machine gun. Like it's perfect, okay,
cool.
if you want a bow build. And number two, all right, you get down to that prison. Now there's a lot of feisty guys near the prison, in the prison, at the prison. But you get down that prison and you clear out that prison, that's gonna help you in the future, all right? You go do that, you're gonna be set. I mean, you're gonna be set like you're gonna get shackles, you're gonna fight lobsters, you're gonna see a dude, and
Hmm?
then you're gonna get to another secret. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna kill a guy. All right, you're gonna kill a guy, and then you're gonna say, "What's that? What's the guy in here for?" You're gonna think, "Why is the guy in here? There's nothing in here." And then you're gonna hit one of them things. It's called a secret wall, and you're like,
Man,
"Oh, I see
he
why.
just likes talking about Elden Ring.
I see
You want
why
to tell
he's
me?
down here. I see why he's here. Why is he here? I see why he's here." And then you go and you're gonna take one of you got it's one of those classic souls like get ready to die moments. Be not because you're fighting, but because of gravity. Appreciate gravity. You're gonna have one of
Why
them.
does he got the
You're gonna
he got the Trump accent going?
you're gonna have one of them, and then you're gonna find a new thing, and then you're gonna be like, oh, let me do. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you right now, don't do it. It gives you a different ending. You can't go back. So you're screwed. So don't do it. Just be like, okay, nice,
Wait,
thank
don't do
you.
what? Wait, whoa, what's
I'm
going on?
just saying, when you get to the prison, you will fight the guy. You will find secret wall. You will fall. You will die, but you will try again, and you will get to the bottom. And then you're gonna have an option that's gonna be like, "Hey, remember the thing we told you about that was really interesting? You seen it before. You want to do that?" And you're gonna be like, "Yeah, I'll do that." Don't do it. Don't do it because it lock you into something. You don't do it. Okay. Um,
I don't
and
know if that's that doesn't.
there's
I
another
want
there's a
okay. So I want you because people are gonna be listening to this, right? This is what it sounds like when other people talk about Souls games. It doesn't make any sense because what you're talking about right now. I'm sure I'll understand it when I get to it.
Yeah, you're
It makes
gonna
no sense to me at
understand. It's
all.
going to be
It
clear
makes
as
no
day.
sense.
If you want to run the sewers, I'll run the sewers because even for me at level whatever, sewers are hard. Sewers are tough. Okay, because there's so much going on with the
What is
sewers.
up with this
There's
man
a
and
there's
sewers, man?
the shit man is down in the sewers. Uh,
Oh, the what is his actual name? The dung
dung
king,
eater, dung eater.
dung eater. He eats dung. Yeah.
He is his own quest. It's so this
He
game is
seems
so
evil.
amazing.
I don't like him. He talks about
He
fucking people's
absolutely
bodies and
he
stuff.
absolutely
It's
is.
crazy.
He absolutely is, and I think I like Elden Ring so much because there's so many stories in there, and the Ranny one, the Melina one, the Dung Eater one. Did you find the guy who stands on top of a mountain with a he stands on top of you find him first in the forest if you look around, but he stands on top of a plateau with his arms out and he wears a mask, gold mask. Have you found gold mask?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you found them like twice or three times?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Is he in Lanedale?
I don't know. I need to
Okay.
walk around
Then
Landell.
maybe
I
he's
probably have seen him. I don't know.
he has his own ending. It's like there are so many endings because there's all these things you can do. Like there's a dude who never speaks and sits at the top of a mountain looking at the sun. He has an ending. There's a guy who eats people and probably rapes their corpse. He has an ending. there's a
Why not? Why
there's
not
a
help him? Right?
there's a woman who transferred her body into a doll and had you propose to marry her and gave you a sword and had you go through the longest side quest of all time after she turned into another. She went from a doll to another doll and then back to another doll and then you made her go to sleep. She has an ending. And there's the guy
Like what
who
the
has
fuck?
a castle and has a bunch of people go hunt people for him, and then if you go kill all his enemies, he lets you fight him. He has an ending. It's like everyone has change. You can change your
Yeah,
ending so many
so I
ways.
get what I get when people play the game several times over.
Did
Because
you
I don't know.
did you get to Ricard?
I don't know. Sure, I don't think so. I have
Remember
no
the girl
idea.
you met in the swamp who's like, "Oh hi, no, I'm a fucking frail person." No. And then you meet her
The lady
later,
with the eyeballs,
and
or
she's like, "I'll take you to my home. You want to come to my castle? You want to come to my you want to come over?" And
no,
then
I don't remember, bro. I haven't played this game in like years. Yeah, sure.
and then you join the Assassin's Creed. You haven't done that part. You haven't done the Assassin's Creed part of the game.
Oh, you mean the manor?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The pale girl who's actually like a lizard. Yeah,
Have you found out she's a lizard yet?
yeah. I have a screenshot of me standing right next to her. You was
Oh,
talking
okay.
and everything.
Did you fight the boss there?
No, because I'm doing the assassination quest.
Oh, KKKK.
I still haven't. Yeah, I know you. I
All
know
right,
you
yeah.
have to finish it before you move on, or else you blow the whole quest up. So
That is true. That is absolutely true. If you don't finish them, then yeah. So that assassination quest is gonna take you to a few. Oh, you're in the great spot, my man. You're in a great spot, my man. You're gonna be sailing in the Elden Ring glow, baby. You don't even need a DLC
sure.
right now. You got so much to do.
Oh,
You about to go up.
that's okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Is like I'm not playing the DLC for quite a while because I don't
You
need
s-
to
you
because I
gotta
have
get
so
to
much of
the
the base
snow
game left.
tops.
I haven't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I haven't. I stopped. Well, here's the thing. I already had 68 hours in the game before I stopped. I just stopped playing, and I feel like that says how massive this game is because there's people who beat it like 5 times. I don't know how people do that because I got to do everything before I beat it the first time. So
Well, the first time I
I still
played,
got
I
plenty
did
of stuff left to
everything.
do.
Okay, make sure to
Yeah,
go
that's
to
what you're trying to do.
just so
That's what
you
I'm
don't
trying to
waste your
do.
time. Make sure to go to Caleb and find that cancer woman and tell her it's gonna be okay. You know,
Cancer woman? What are you talking about?
the one without an arm and her face is melting off, and she's like, "Oh my god, life is so horrible. Why did my mother make me like this?" And then the shrimp guy is like, "That's my girl. Help a sister out, please." That one.
Oh yeah. I did her quest already.
No, you haven't. Yeah, you haven't. No, you haven't,
You sure
man.
about that?
No, you ain't. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. No, I
Sure.
have not. I'm absolutely.
I think the last place I saw her, yeah, okay, I'm looking at this thing. Yeah, I saw last place I saw her was the mountaintop of giants. I did see her there.
Okay, you've gotten to the mountaintop.
Yeah,
Okay. How'd
I've
you
been
get to the
yeah, I've been
mountaintop
to
if you haven't been Margit? Second time.
I've just been there, dude.
Did you beat Margit second
Oh
time
wait,
already?
Margaret. No, I didn't. Okay, wait, I think I'm wrong. Wait. Okay, no. Last place I saw her was on Atlas Plateau because I met her at the Church of the Plague.
Yeah, you met her at Atlas Plateau where she's standing up like, "Hi, I'm here." Yeah, okay. You haven't been to this, yeah, because you got to beat Margit before you get to the. Oh, the snow place kind of
Okay.
sucks. I'm not a big fan of that area because it is. I prefer the rock place, honestly.
I don't know. Well, I realized that the rot place isn't even the bad swamp area of the game. The swamp of Aeonia. I forgot I did that. The place in Caelid. That shit is ass. That shit is terrible. Oh
Yeah,
God.
yeah, that place sucks. But there's stuff there to kill. But I think you're mostly done with that. The snow tops, man. It feels like what's that game where they always it's like an RPG and they always put out different ones with different stories. And
Final
sometimes
Fantasy.
no. It's new. It's a newer type of RPG, and every story is different, and it's like like the combat's real time always. Like you control a guy, you can, and you're
I don't
everyone's
know,
fighting
bro.
it. Like you run, and there's like you get in the battle, and then you pick your yeah, usually your main character, and you can fight with them, or you can actually tell it's like a fighting game, but it's an RPG, and you do your moves, and you don't have to wait your turn or any of that bullshit. And then like I feel like it starts with an X or something, and then
I
Tails,
don't know,
Tails,
dude.
Tails, the Tails
Oh yeah,
series
yeah,
that
yeah. The Tail series. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
feel like the snow area feels like that because you're gonna get on your horse and you're gonna ride and you're riding an enemy, you're gonna fight, and then you're gonna ride around, and it's like it's just like it's so much is it's not empty, it's just like okay, now a fucking eagle is attacking me. It's so I don't know. I don't like the snow area.
Well, I feel like that's the thing about this game, right? I feel like the game is pretty damn good, but there are some areas where I'm like, man, this is the shit I hated in the other Souls games I played. Like, so
But
we'll
I
see.
think
We'll
you're
see if I like the
supposed to
snow
hate it. I
area.
think you're supposed to hate eagles trying to talon your eyes out while you're riding on a horse. And then you're trying to shoot it with a bow for like 10 minutes when you could have just ridden around the thing, I guess. But like,
I
well,
guess.
hey, guess what? You like skeletons?
Not really.
Oh, well, too bad. Get ready for the snow tops, baby.
Oh God, I hate. They're all right. They're not that bad.
No, you ain't seen
You
skeletons
got
like
you got to
this.
hit them again.
Dog,
That's not that
you
bad.
have not had skeletons like this.
Don't say that. Don't tell me that. I don't want to hear that.
Dog, these skeletons. When you see the
I do
skeleton, you're
not
like,
want to
oh
hear
my
that.
fucking god.
I don't
You're gonna
want to
be
hear
on.
that,
I
man.
know it's gonna be. You gotta be on your. You're gonna be killing a bunch of little skeletons, and you're gonna hear whoa. You're gonna be like, "What's that?" And you gotta turn and see skeleton. And be like, "Oh my god, why am I playing this game? I'm gonna go the other way, fight the dragon. the, the dragon's better than the
Yeah,
skeleton."
yeah, but I'm enjoying the game. Game's good. Uh, really enjoying it so far. Just
I haven't
so
had
much to
time
do.
to since I last touched it, so hopefully today I can do that.
Yeah, hopefully you can get around to it because I know you'd probably understand more of it. I know that you can access it after you fight Mog because I can fight him, Moog, whatever. I can fight him today if I wanted to because I've tried to fight him a few times already, but I was too weak, so I was like,
I'm
I'm gonna
going
come
to
back later.
suggest to you to not fight him there and go to the prison. Okay, go to the prison.
Okay.
Get rewarded for clearing out the prison. Like
Yeah, I need to
big
do
time.
more Orlando. I kind of laughed because the area you can go directly to after you kill what's his name fuckface McGee Godfrey,
Godfrey.
at least the light version or whatever, because it wasn't even really him, it was like a spirit or something. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
know,
spirit version.
but yeah, the I realized you had to go outside on the balcony and climb on some stuff because it kept going down the same way, and it's just this knight that is beating my ass. He's not even like an
Oh
actual
yeah,
boss or
yeah,
anything.
yeah. He
And then it's
just
just a
stands
dead
at.
end. Yeah, it's a dead
Yeah.
end. I ran around him one time just to see what would happen, and it's a dead end. And I'm like I was like, all right, well, obviously that's not where I'm supposed to go. So I figured it out eventually. But this
Yeah.
game it's a good game though. I'm enjoying it. I
Yeah,
was wrong
there's a
last
couple
week.
things you
It's a
need
great game.
because Moog does this curse thing, this blood curse to you, and there's a way to
Oh, that's
stop it.
ass.
Well, if you go to the prison, it essentially shows you how to beat. Because I think like as far as like boss mechanics, he has some of the strongest in the game because he literally has a move. He has an anime move. Like this thing is unstoppable. He's a fucking season 5 boss. No one can beat him. He killed your master. Oh wait, secret technique hidden in the book. This is how you stop him. Also, I found his liver that he had when his first child died. For some reason, that makes him not comfortable. And also now I've
What?
merged with the frog the frog jutsu of my master. I have frog eyes, and that makes me
Okay,
stronger against a guy who can push
who
can literally push fucking gravity out of his bones. Okay, so that's that's what Moog is. Moog is like the anime guy who's impossible to beat until you realize like he's got like 3 items. Well, technically, if you have friends come play with you, all 3 of you can like use the items on him, and then he's like a little baby boy. And there's the physics.
The physics.
The thing you drink, yeah. Those things. There's even one just for him.
Oh, now you're just giving me now you're just giving me the game. I don't even need to play.
Well, I'm saying the way I think he's a really good boss, and then he goes from like a really good boss that is very, very difficult to beat, maybe that one of the hardest in the game, to a puzzle boss. He's kind of a puzzle boss.
I think all the bosses are kind of puzzle bosses, though. I mean, listen, most of these bosses, if you learn how to dodge right, most of them, I'm not saying all of them, if you learn how to dodge right, you can get them. The last game I remember from the series really having only the actual like puzzle bosses was Demon Souls. Some of the game's bosses are just like jokes, like oh, were you paying attention? Like the one where you can't kill the boss because that's not actually the boss. You have to go find the person who's controlling the boss. That one took me like 20 minutes to figure out.
The Bloodborne one?
No, that's a different one. I was talking about Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah. The Bloodborne one's more tricky because it's like there's literally this giant gross monster thing trying to run around and kill you, and then in the corner there's just this little slug woman like.
Yeah, you gotta kill the slug lady. yeah.
And then while this giant Zimbabwe 8-foot tall dread guy with a sickle follows you around is kind of weird. Yeah, you haven't fought Malenia.
That's just that game.
Once you fight Malenia, then you will. That's when you'll be like, okay, I kind of understand when people call this game hard.
I've heard that the latter bosses are kind of ridiculous. That's where I'm worried about so far.
Yeah, well, Moog is a ladder boss, okay? So I would go down to the prison first, okay? If you need help in the prison, because the prison's not fun. It is literally, there's literally a shit sewer maze. There's a shit sewer maze.
Okay.
There's a basin. Then there's 2 parts of the prison. They have prison guards. And then you're going to get invaded like a million times because people love invading there because it's so stressful. It's such a stressful place to be in because you're in a maze.
Rune arcs. Oh, I do want to say, anybody else playing this game, use your rune arcs. It's just like a cheat code. You're not even really playing the game anymore.
Yeah, they are pretty awesome.
Rune arcs are great. I have like 50 of them
almost never use them.
I have like 80 of them on me. I keep forgetting.
How do you even get those?
You find them on for some reason rats drop them a lot in this game. But also like they're random drops. Sometimes they're like, just placed around some places after like dungeons or like after a boss. But you can also just do multiplayer, and whenever you help somebody complete
That's
their
right.
thing,
Yeah. That's why I have so many.
So yeah, it's infinite basically. So you can just get as many as you want to. But yeah, no.
Do you like ghosts, fighting ghosts that you can't see?
No.
Okay, well, hey, get ready. Okay, so let's start the show.
Christ.
We have news. We have news. Elden Ring is the darkest of Dark Souls. They put all of it. They put the ghost. They put the fake boss. They put like the boss inside of a boss. They put the transforming.
They do every single From Souls thing ever. They threw it into this game basically.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely. They do the they do the going up the tower where one half of the tower is going to like you can fall off, and then a guy comes and pushes you, and that happens 8 times going up the tower.
Patches is in this game.
Don't forget
he's
to
in
go
every
up
game.
towers.
But Patches
is in the game. He has a quest.
He's not called. Is he called Patches in this one? Is he called in this? He's called
Patches,
something else.
It's Patches.
Isn't he? Okay, he's Patches in every game. Isn't he in Bloodborne too? But he's like a spider or something.
Patches a spider. Yes.
Yeah, this game.
If you're speaking of Patches,
I'm not going to complain.
yes.
I'm not gonna complain about it because I like it, but it's just funny how they keep making the same game over and over.
Well, they have to put patches in it though.
Yeah, but that's not the only thing they put in it. They put the moon sword because that's in Demon. That was back in way back in. That was before Demon Souls. They've always had the great moon sword or whatever. But like they got the moon sword. They got somebody pushing you into something. They got the gimmicky. Some of the bosses have the exact same gimmick as old bosses. Some of the same animation. I'm fine with it. Like I'm fine with all this. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just funny how they just have made the same game several times and it's just been really good every time.
Well, patches got those
And the
arrows, bro. So
the
you're gonna
the
need it.
one time that it was different, people hated it, which was Dark Souls 2. A lot of people don't like that game for some reason. I still don't know why. I haven't played it, but
I tried
yeah.
playing. I think for me, the part that I didn't gel with was I can't play with my friends. It puts a cap on like so you when you multiplayer, you can only play with people who are within a certain level of you, and then not just that, but have also only fought a certain amount. Like it's literally counts how
Oh,
much experience you have, and then so at some point you can't play with anyone. And if you have
yeah. Okay,
friends
I
and
did
you're
hear
not
about
playing
that.
only together, you can't. If you
I
guys play
did hear
separate
about
and then
this.
come,
Yeah.
there's a chance you just can't play together, and that's kind of not fun. I'd like to play it. I just want to play with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, because part of what makes the games fun is the multiplayer. We do have news. We were talking about that. I just remembered. Yeah, yeah. There's something going on.
All right, so I guess there's news to talk about outside of Elden Ring. The only thing that's important
I
right
guess so.
now.
Round one. Fight!
Why is the Resident Evil intro here?
What?
So
What? The
on the
Resident Evil
list,
intro?
there's a Resident Evil intro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Resident Evil, the first three are well, the first one's out right now. The second one comes out soon, but the first three games are officially available to. Whoa. Are officially available to buy like online for the first time in a while. For people who don't know, it's kind of impossible to play the old Resident Evil games if you don't have an old PS2 or PS1, or if you don't feel like emulating, or if you don't feel like playing on a crappy like streaming service or something like that, or you don't have a PS5, which PlayStation does have some of these. They have Nemesis, the Resident Evil 3, but it's like it's like a weird emulation version of it. Anyway, this is the first time you can buy them, download them, and own them. It's the original like Windows like 95 version, except they kind of upgraded it for modern times. But yeah, no, it's the original three Resident Evil games. They're on GOG.com, so you can go own them. A lot of people were kind of excited about this because this hasn't been like you can't play the original games on PC unless you own an old PC copy or you steal it. So this is the
I'm
first time
gonna
it's been
be
available in a while.
honest with you and everyone else. If you want to play the first Resident Evil and you're like, I think I want to get into this series because it's looking like it's popping off, I would not recommend playing the original old game. That is, I don't know if people mentally can handle it. Like back then, it was at a time where like
Well,
the president is sleeping with the secretaries and we got like and it's like okay, what is an analog stick? Who cares? All I need to do is turn
what are
left, turn
you
right,
even
walk
talking
forward.
about, bro?
Like that, it was a different time in life and people could handle things. I don't. I feel like I feel real stressed just
Well,
looking at this
there
game.
there there are
So
new
I
there are
would
new Resident Evil
recommend playing
games.
the remake. The remake.
Well, okay, well that's the thing, right? As somebody who's I never okay, confession, I never finished the Resident Evil remake because I was playing other stuff and I want to like sit down and actually just finish it myself. But the one thing about those games is I agree. They are kind of not like even the remake is not like player friendly like a ton.
No,
Like
but
you
it's
do have to
way more
figure
than
things
the
out yourself.
original.
Well, well, I wouldn't even say that because the original is not even like half the length of the remake. The remake is like they add so much shit to it too. Anyway, um, I agree. It's a different kind of game that's around. If you want to get into Resident Evil, like if you really want to start from the beginning, I do recommend remake over these. But this is more so for people who like really want to like like people who did play the old ones and they want to play the old one, or people who are curious about the old ones and just want to see. It's only like $25 for all three of them, which is cool. And it's not like Steam where if they take it down, you can't play it anymore. Or like PS, whatever, same thing. You can just download it to your computer or hard drive or whatever. So
here's what I recommend. Okay, get the remake. Open up YouTube. Find one of those videos like how to beat it in under 4 hours. Do that. Just follow exactly what they do. Just just do what they're doing. Just go through. Okay, do that, and then get the rocket launcher, and then you can just have a great time with the game. He's gonna
that's
have
just
a great time with the
blasphemy.
game.
That's just saying play a different game, basically.
Hmm.
That's just saying play a different game, basically.
Yeah, true, but I think it's just more fun when you get the rocket launcher. That's my favorite part of every Resident Evil game is when you beat it, and then you've got infinite rocket launches, and then that's when I beat it 8 times.
But you should beat it. I disagree about the guide part. Try to beat it on your own. Maybe look up a guide occasionally if you get lost.
You're gonna need a guide for remake. You absolutely unless you want to spend like a week. So if you don't use a guide, you're gonna have a whole week go by where you come home from work, your wife is yelling at you or something, the kids are in jail, and you're gonna sit there. You're gonna play 3 hours every day trying to figure out like this one puzzle.
Okay, but is it about how long you play it, or is it about figuring it out? Because I feel like if you bounce off of it, then you bounce off of it.
That's how I play games. So if you want to play games like that, that's fine. If you don't want to play games like that, you're gonna need a guide.
All right, fair. I still say whatever Resident Evil looks fun to you, just give it a shot. Whichever one. The first one I even really liked was what?
Well, we all know 5 is the best. So,
but 4 is my favorite now, and 4 remake is really really good. So
4 is good.
There's other places to start, but if you want to own the original games, they're there. They're
you know why I like
now.
4? Because they did what everyone says can't be done, but they did it. They gave you a gun, a shotgun, a rocket launcher, a mine launcher, and all this stuff, and the game was still tense and scary. That's a good game, right? Everybody says you can't have a horror game where your main character can kill the bad guys or is powerful. You have to hide under beds. You have to go in the closets. You have to have a pipe that breaks when you hit a nurse in the head with it 10 times. I say, look at Resident Evil 4, okay? Have me walk through a forest with crows and old Spanish people saying stuff. I think that, you know how genius that was? I don't know what they're saying. They're yelling at me. They're speaking some Spanish stuff and saying mean things, and I'm shooting things, and then one comes from behind and they got these mean angry faces, and then I never know when they're coming. That's a game right there.
Anyway, Resident Evil 4, a great game, still the best to me. Let's move on so you can ramble about something else.
You don't think Resident Evil 4 is scary?
I think it is
not
sometimes.
The eighth time. Not the eighth time.
I did my very first full playthrough like a couple years ago, and it is sometimes. There's some boss fights that are kind of harrowing.
Boss fights aren't scary.
But yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. And when you're fighting that weird tentacle thing with all the thing they cut from the remake with all the tentacles in his mouth. Well, they didn't cut it from the remake. They moved it to the DLC. But yeah, no, there's some boss fights that are kind of scary. There's some moments that are kind of scary. They hide enemies around corners sometimes. Like, it's a little scary, but I do think, it is a branching off point for the series in a good way. Like, that's when they start getting more action oriented. But I think it's still good to have the, I feel like that's the thing is like, I don't know if you can make another Resident Evil 1 or 2 because they work so well. So I get why they just remade them. So, it's good to have the 2 different ones. You have the one where, it's more survival, like Resident Evil 1 and 2, which they've remade. And then you have 4 and 5, which are about shooting shit in the face, and it's still good. So
3, there's 3. There's also
3 is just like 1. 3's basically 1 and 2, just with slightly more action.
Yeah, true. And choices, I guess. You can make choices in the game.
Sort of.
I guess you can make choices.
They took that out of the remake, so.
Yeah, that's that game.
Round 2. Fight.
Okay, so Dead Rising. Speaking of Capcom games that are available or going to be, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster was announced. It's got a teaser, and
Yes.
we get to see Frank. If you haven't played Dead Rising, you might be saying, "Isn't that series that died when the Xbox One? Is it One X? What are we on now? Series
No, just
X,
Xbox One. No,
Xbox
so
One."
yeah, you would assume this game died because they made an Xbox exclusive after the second one because Microsoft bought the rights to it. Did you know that there's like five Dead Rising games?
Yeah, two came out on the Xbox only, I think.
No, it wasn't. No, I said no. It was after two. Well, I mean, yeah, but then they re-released two again on PS3 like a year later. So
No,
that
no,
one
I don't
doesn't
mean
really
Dead
count.
Rising 2. So there's Dead Rising 1, Dead Rising 2, Dead Rising 3, and then there's Dead Rising 4 and
Yes.
5. And the 4 and 5
Yes.
are Xbox only. That's what I was saying.
You said Dead Rising 2, Shivar.
No, 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 no. I
You
said
said Dead Rising 2.
I will rewind this. I said
You can rewind it.
I said there are two on Xbox. I think you think I said two is on Xbox.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
okay,
there were
okay,
two
okay.
on Xbox.
Well, no, there were three on Xbox. So, well, no, there were gonna be three. They were gonna make five, and then five like died partway through
Yes, there are
development.
two on Xbox.
So because yeah, there's a good what happened video about this from Matt McMuscles, but yeah, so yeah, Dead Rising was it was quote unquote a cult classic quote unquote when it came out. I think that's misrepresenting. It was pretty popular when it came out. People don't know it's a 24-hour post, not 24-hour post. It's like a timed like survival game, right? But it's very action oriented. You can use anything to make a weapon. You can use anything as weapons. You have to go save different survivors. You got to go across the mall. You got to do all these objectives. I love these games. I think the second one is one of my favorite games ever. I played a lot of
I mean,
Dead
me
Rising
too.
2.
It's
I beat
an
that game like
amazing
three
game.
times. It's so good. It's very campy too. Like it's not like the most polished game, but it's good. It's great at what it does. Especially Dead Rising 2. When that came out, that game was glitchy as hell, but they had to update it a few times. So after 2, though, there was another game for 3 years. Then there was Dead Rising 3, which was an Xbox exclusive one. For some reason, they got rid of the protagonist again, which, by the way, people really liked Frank West from the first game. Second game had a different guy. His name was Chuck Green. I liked him, but they also remade Dead Rising 2 with Frank as the protagonist, which they re-released like I think a couple years later.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like a year later they released Dead Rising 2 Off the Record, which is a non-canon remake of Dead Rising 2 because people like Frank so much. So anyway, they got rid
I
of
don't
Frank
know.
again for
Did
some
people
reason.
like Frank that much? Because to me, people say that, but the protagonists in each game, they're not like extraordinary. Frank is not like that cool, nor is
people quote Frank all of the time.
yeah. But
Sure.
that
Okay. I need you to do something. I need you to see something. How you feel about it is not how a lot of other people
I know.
feel
I know.
about
I'm
it.
trying to
'Cause
ask
I
you,
agree.
what is it
I
that's
think
so
he's
amazing
very
about Frank?
quotable. He's very goofy. They like his personality.
Yeah, but
he was a very everyman, whatever kind of guy design, which people did like that. Yeah, people really liked Frank, which is why like if you look at complaints, especially when it comes to the community themselves, they love Frank. When you look at like not even just the speedrunning community, but the people who play this game still, they love Frank. They like playing as him. They always think it's really weird that they got rid of him for Dead Rising 3, which is why for Dead Rising 4 they
Well,
did
even
bring
Dead
him
Rising
back,
2.
except well, sure, they remade Dead Rising 2 with Frank in it because people got mad. Yeah, exactly. So Dead Rising 4 comes out and yeah, it's back with Frank, but like things are different. The game doesn't play the same. So every game after 2, it kind of got less and less like campy and more like this is going to be the ultimate zombie killing game, and it didn't really like click. If you look up gameplay of these games, they're very slow, they're very sluggish. The time aspect of it isn't really as important anymore. The story isn't nonsensical enough for it to be like something you care about but also can ignore. It's kind of like very bloated. They replaced the voice actor for Frank. It wasn't a good what I'm trying to say is more than half of the series fucking sucks, which sucks, right? Because that's everything after Dead Rising 2 is kind of like a misfire. So much so that yes, Dead Rising 5 got canceled partway through its development, because they just decided to get rid of it. And that one, once again, Frank was going to be in that one. It was going to be about Chuck and Katie again, Chuck Green and his daughter. So I thought that was weird because it was going to be between Dead Rising 2 and 3. So yeah, I'm glad that this is back. So for people who don't know, this new game is a remake of the old game. So it's a remake of the first game, the very first game, Dead Rising. And I think it's about time this has been like, it's called a remaster, but this looks to be a remake to me. Like, unless they just upgraded, because it looks like they put it in the RE engine. Like, this doesn't look like it's just like polished up graphics. We re-released the game, right? Because they already ported this game to PS4 and PS whatever several times. So yeah, it's really cool that they did this, but also it's like, I wonder what they're going to change, because we can already tell from the trailer that the voice actor for Frank is different from the original voice actor. It's not like the Metal Gear remake where they're reusing all the voice lines and polishing them up, right? Like, they obviously re-recorded a bunch of stuff. So I'm wondering how much different it's going to be, but I hope that it's still just, whacking zombies, going from point A to point B, upgrading your stats, killing psychos, stuff like that. But they said that they're going to do another presentation next week. Capcom's doing a short, like, post Summer Games Fest thing. It's really late, but they're going to do a little announcement thing, which I think they're going to start showing a little bit of Terry for Street Fighter, because they said he's coming out like this summer. So
yeah,
they're
I'm
probably ready to tease him already.
I mean, that's great. I mean, I haven't played a video game in 2 weeks, but it's such a great world.
Bison's out, dude, and Akuma. You haven't played either one of them.
Nope, haven't played either one. Haven't played Homelander. I haven't played the new patch in Mortal Kombat, where apparently Scorpion is even better and Sub-Zero is like slightly.
Wait, no. We're not gonna do this. They both got similar buffs that do almost nothing. Okay, because all I got out of this buff was that my new string that they gave me because they gave me a string that was a piece of shit string, and then now they finally gave me no gap. And that's great. I think that's one thing they could have given Scorpion. They kind of did it across sorry, this is a side topic for people who don't know. Dead Rising remake, we'll hear more about it later. We'll probably talk about it in the next podcast. No, but yeah, we will, because there'll be new information.
Frank West is back. That's it.
But yeah, Frank West is back. And they pushed his hairline back even further. But for Mortal Kombat, listen, I think everybody's going to get buffed eventually. I think they're just pushing some stuff out slowly. Because I was watching a ketchup and mustard video about the patch, kind of going through each thing. And they're giving people good buffs. Like, Lee May might be like top tier because she has a bunch of
they did
unpunishable stuff. Reptile as well. I love Reptile, so I'm going to go back to playing him again because he got
real good
buffed
buffs.
Again.
Peacemaker got
Havoc almost got a buff. They keep almost making Havoc like a decent buff, and then it's like almost nothing. Movado got more health.
I hate that Geras is getting buffs when Geras is absolutely fine. It's just that no one wants to. What's wrong with Geras?
No, he's not. Well, not anymore. I think he's fine now. The things they fixed is what the problems were with him. Well, okay. Personally, when I fight him online a lot, and when I fought him in tournament, his problem isn't that, like, he does massive damage. The problem is you can hit him out of like everything.
And he should be
minus
because he does too much damage.
But no, he doesn't do more damage than, like, say a Katana could do or something like that. Like, I get what you're saying, but they're they're characters who do just as much damage, if not more, and they have better frame data. So
but Katana's gonna beat you with projectiles and footsies. I mean, that's what she does. She's
gonna beat you with a big ass combo.
But I know, but
the world's longest combo.
She's got to open you up. It's not the other way around. Like Geras, like that was his only thing. Like, okay, he's gonna come and he's gonna come hard, but I can remember these gaps that he has, and I can punish these things, and you can get in there. Now it's like, okay, well, we know who's going to be in the top 8 in next tournament because no one plays Geras. I mean, not no one, but
Well,
the big plays. No one plays
I think you're
Geras
looking. I think you're
because
looking at the wrong person. So I think people are still gonna have to look out for these DLC characters. One, because Takeda hasn't come out yet. Takeda's gonna be out probably before Evo. Well, no. Sorry, he's not gonna be out for Evo.
That-
Evo's only in a couple weeks.
Takeda's the one I'm
he's probably
most
gonna be out after
excited for
Evo.
in the whole pack.
We got a teaser. I don't know if you saw it. There was a teaser that
It was a
Ed Boon
leak, not a
posted.
teaser,
Ed Boon posted it.
because it already leaked.
Where did it leak to?
I don't know. Somebody posted it on Reddit or something, and then like an hour later, Ed posted it.
So he leaked a 18-second. Oh wow! Somebody leaked an 18-second teaser. What a shitty leaker! Can you leak something else next time? Can you leak something? Can you leak something better? So something I noticed about both him and Ermac, they've slightly changed their design since they first showed them to us. Because Takeda probably still might have the skin in the game, but he looked real old in the previews we saw him before. They took that away. He looks exactly like he does in MKX now. It looks like he has some of Scorpion's masks too, which is kind of cool. That looks to be one of the customizable
they did the
things
same
for
thing
him.
with Joker in Mortal Kombat 11. Remember, they had the young, like spry Joker when they showed him in the trailer and showed him off. But then when the Joker came out, he looked like the Joker we all know. But when they first showed the Joker, he was like 20 or 19 or something. He looked super young.
in the combat pack trailer. Yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, he looked really young, and they've done that before, right? Like that's obvious. It's obvious that they're working on these characters still before, probably right before they release them, right? We saw it with Homelander. I haven't said this. Part of the reason I haven't really played MK1 a lot recently, even though I compete in it and stuff, is because it's broken right now, and I kind of don't like it. Kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth because Homelander's still broken. Like, he has stuff that should make him banned from tournaments, in my opinion. Like, he has infinite combos that can't be blocked. Like, it's kind of like, it's stuff that's obviously not intended. Like, I'm not saying like he's too good. I'm saying like it's a glitch. Like, literally until like last week, he could block.
I
while
thought they
moving.
fixed it.
Like, what? Yeah, but he has other stuff left that he has like an infinite block string that you like. It's not supposed to be like that. Like, a move cancels before it's supposed to, when it's not usually supposed to cancel. So it's not intentional, right? So they're probably gonna release hot fix for that again. But that's kind of why I haven't played the game in the past month, is because it's kind of broken right now. So I'm glad that Takeda's coming out, and I'm definitely gonna play before he comes out, right? Like, I'm gonna try again. But it just is interesting. Like, I don't know. This game is great. I think people keep shitting on
Johnny
Mortal
got
Kombat
nerfed
for some reason.
which I think is
Yes, I'm so
He-
glad.
I mean, I don't like any
so
character.
glad.
I'm not like a big fan of nerfs, but like he plays.
Frame one parries and anything but anything but
Well, not
anime
just
games is
that.
total bullshit.
It's not just
like
that.
mm-mm.
He okay, so like a character like Lee May, I think plays Lee May, Garrus, Katana. I think they play Mortal Kombat 1 like Mortal Kombat 1 should be played. And then you have people who play less than that. And then you have people who play like way like he doesn't play. Johnny Cage does not play Mortal Kombat 1. He plays a completely different game, which gives him
playing
this
MKX.
amazing advantage. Like, he's so fast. He's got these great strings. He's got great pokes. He can shut down a projectile game with his kick. He could do. I know why they didn't give him a projectile now. It would have been too much. But then, like, you look at other characters. Like, I know you don't agree, but like Sub-Zero, he does not play this game well. Like, he just doesn't. Like, he
man.
does. He can use
especially
cameos,
since they nerfed Chameleon, because Chameleon got nerfed. She makes your health lower now, and they stopped ball roll. They changed the frames on it. So I agree. Listen, what I got out of this patch is they nerfed the two people I think need to be nerfed the most, because I was tired of seeing them at Final Combat. Which, once again, listen, I love Sonic Fox, I do. Y'all got to get better at the game, so I don't have to see them win every fucking year. It's getting exhausting. Y'all got to get better, bro. I'm tired of this.
He's past. I mean, he was a prodigy.
Yeah.
Now he's the master of the game. He just understands the game so much more. I mean, he went through the tournament playing Sindel, and then when he got to the winners final and on, he's just he knew you're not gonna beat a Johnny Cage. You just switch to Johnny Cage. I mean, he's really good.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
mean, it's stupid. I mean, like I said, y'all gotta get better at the game, but also it shows like, yeah, I was tired of seeing Johnny Cage. I was tired of seeing Peacemaker. They both are. I'm not gonna lie, I hated seeing both of them, especially Peacemaker. Peacemaker gameplay is the most paint drying bullshit I've ever seen in the world.
yeah,
So I'm
it is
so
pretty
glad
cheap. You
they
can cheap
like
him up.
it's like watching, it's like eating glue. Like it's so stupid. So I'm glad that they nerfed him, because the stuff they nerfed him with makes sense. You shouldn't be able to do point blank projectiles and get away with it. That doesn't make any sense. Nobody else
Yeah.
in this game is able to do that except for with maybe one move. All of his moves did it, and they finally fixed it. So I think now Peacemaker can actually play MK1 fairly, and I think now that Johnny isn't, because Johnny was over designed from the start. Like even in the beta, people were like, Johnny's ridiculous, and he is. He's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think.
So
Yeah,
I don't think
other
anything they
characters
changed
are
makes him.
underdesigned.
He does a lot still, which is funny. They changed his parry stuff, so that's great and everything. But he still does a lot of good things. So I'm
No,
wondering
he's
if
still
that's
going to
even
be
gonna
top
change
of the
meta.
game, but I don't think he's going to.
Stupid.
Right now, well, before, he was at a different tier compared to he and Peacemaker. I feel like if they're at an S plus, everybody like Sindel and everyone else like that was at an S. And I like that's a completely different tier that they were at. I think now they're down to the same as Sindel and Liu Kang and stuff like that. I still think Johnny's like better than Liu Kang, but it's a little closer now, I guess. You don't have those crazy advantages now. But I just wish they would buff. I want them to buff.
I feel like you need to stop talking about Scorpion got buffed. I've been dying.
That
out
is a
here
buff.
as a
That's a
Scorpion
good
main.
buff.
Yeah, and did Sub-Zero also get a buff? Why are you not calling that
It's
a
not
buff?
the
You keep
same.
acting like it's nothing. Oh my
Okay,
God.
so what Scorpion's buff does, okay, his new string, which is a great new string because now you get to kind of play with the other. You get to switch it up. Am I gonna do the mid or that high that you can duck, right? And the high is gonna give me the launch, and maybe I get you to do, you flip them off. But now that string with the kick, it doesn't have the gap in it because before you could just say, okay, I'm just gonna gap this kick. I'm just gonna do it no matter what, because either if it's a kick or a high, it doesn't matter. I can gap through it, and then his main like pressure strings were worth nothing. Okay, Sub-Zero, you can still gap all of his stuff. His gap is still there. The only difference is
this downplaying, bro.
no, I mean that's a really good. You could still gap me after every second hit of Sub-Zero strings. He can be gapped, and all of them. Okay, you can meter through it. But they gave him the ability to be safe. He's only got he got 2 frames, so now he's safe after one of his main string, his mid string. It's safer, so now you can do it and you can block after. The only thing that really does for his gameplay is that now he can, if he has a cameo that does an overhead, he can maybe mix you up with it if it's fast enough. Maybe the Sonya because she got buffed with the overhead. Maybe the Chameleon because but if it's on Melina or something, so you can do some stuff. Maybe the Scorpion, right, will be good with it, but it's not it doesn't fix his problems because he Scorpion's problems are, I think, archetype problems. Sub-Zero's problems are he doesn't do it. He's not Sub-Zero. He doesn't do Sub-Zero stuff. Like the freeze, great. You got the clone back. It lasts so short, and so many things go through it. Like literal punches and kicks can go through it if it's a certain punch or kick or whatever. That kind of sucks. Also, when you do it, you're so negative that anyone can armor through it always. And if you spin a bar on it, which you have no other moves really that you spin bar on except slide. If you spin the bar on it, you're spinning 2 bars to go all the way across the screen. And it's like, okay, well, that none of it really helps you. I just feel like he's not built.
The downplay is crazy.
I'm not saying he's a bad
I'm just
character.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I feel like that's the thing about. I think that's the thing about this game that I am starting to dislike about it, which is at the first I was like, oh, everybody's kind of balanced. That's not true. There's some game. It's kind of like an old school fighting game. There's some characters in this game that are just dominating the game, like Johnny Cage, Homelander up until last week. Not Homelander, sorry. Peacemaker up until last week. I think the other superhero guy was dominating shit at one point. They also kind of took his legs from under him.
Well, I think most of Omni-Man was because people weren't used. I mean, he's a good character. I think people weren't just used to, like, he was new. I don't think Omni-Man was overpowered. I think Peacemaker definitely was.
Well, they changed the stuff about Omni-Man already, but no, I feel like that's the thing, right? Like, I don't know. So my thing is that there's some characters in this game that need more buffs because they don't have any utility. I completely disagree with you about Garrus. There's a reason they buffed him is because nobody uses him, and there's a reason nobody uses him. The only thing he's useful for up until his last patch is combo videos. Because, dude, I don't know if you fought a Garrus online. They can't touch you, bro. Up until this last point, until this last patch, they cannot touch you.
Yeah, I know.
Because you can just demolish them because all their frame data is shit. So
unless you're
I think that character needed buffs.
You're not gonna.
We need the cameos to get buffed. Like, for instance, Sonya got a buff, so a lot of people are going to start using Sonya now, which is good because Sonya did need a buff. Now her leg grab is actually usable.
Well, I don't think just buffs. Like, Reptile is almost a completely different character now in the best way. Like, he's got a new move. He has new cancels. He has better frames. Like, that needs to happen with... I think Scorpion's fine. I think he's annoying and he's fine.
You're smoking crack if you think Scorpion's fine. But
he's
that's okay.
He's not Johnny Cage levels of good, but he's definitely not...
Which is why I'm trying to get him, bro. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? This game is crazy because there's characters like like Sindel, Johnny... and Tanya, right? Just head and shoulders above the rest of the people in the game. Like, they have every tool that they need. They have the range, they have the frame data, all that stuff. I feel like the characters who are actually starting to reach that level now, like starting to, are Reptile and Li Mei because they got the right buffs. So they need to go through the rest of the cast and like give them some more shit. Because like, what's the whole MK1 roster? Because like, there's some people in this game that nobody uses.
Johnny Cage and
it's kind of insane.
And Sindel are good, but not in the same reason because that Tanya's good. Johnny Cage and Sindel are good because they have so many tools and options from almost anywhere. Tanya's good in like almost the opposite way. She's super simple, has the damage, super simple. You know the poke or whatever you need to get out and get to people, and she has a little range. But she's not if you play her, she's not complicated at all. Like, if in any situation you're looking at one, and it's the same with Katana. In any situation, you're looking at 1 to 4 options of something to do, like depending on how far you are or whatever. If you're playing Johnny and Sindel, you got like 10 different options available to you. Your opponent knows that, and they don't know what to do.
So the characters that need, I agree. There's too many options, right? Like there's characters.
I don't think it's too many options. I think it needs to be equal. Like, you have to give other people more options.
Well, that's okay. That's literally what I was trying to say. You're on fire right now, buddy. Let somebody else talk. So the thing is that all these characters have these options. Everybody else needs options too. They need something else. Like, for instance, Reptile, his mix got better because his overhead is now plus. No matter how you do it, if you charge it up or if you do it regular, it's plus now. And also some of his other stuff is plus. So you can kind of get some mix on some stuff rather than doing something and being left open for 3 million years, which is what happens to most of the characters in this game. Like, for instance, Havoc, we barely ever see him unless it's a character specialist. Also, Ashra has kind of fallen out of the meta because people realize that they're better characters. And also, she's really simple once you figure out. Shang Tsung needs to be buffed in some sort of way. He needs more stuff.
Buff, yeah.
Natara,
I think Ashra's still good.
Natara
I think people just don't want to play her.
Natara got a buff too, but she needs more because her health is too low.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think her health is way too low. Raiden is fine. I just think people don't like that they can't abuse Storm Cell anymore, so that's why you don't see him as much anymore. The characters I think need something else. I think they need like new moves or something. Sub-Zero, Scorpion. I think Shang Tsung needs a little more work. I think he used to be like great, but I think that once people figured him out, he kind of fell down in the meta. And Shang Tsung, I think that those guys need some kind of help. Because Shang Tsung twice, because Shang Tsung should be such a cool character, but I don't know if just people aren't playing him, but I don't see him a lot. Like it's.
I mean,
it's kind of
also,
weird.
some of those characters are more complicated. Ashra's a more complicated character with the dark and the light, and I think I don't think Ashra's bad at all. I think Ashra's top 8 characters definitely, but I think
Easily.
a lot of people
Diamond.
don't. She just takes a lot more time to learn than a Johnny Cage or Baraka or something like and I think it's the same with Garrus. I think Garrus takes more time to learn than some of the other ones, and I think
Yeah.
that's part of why people don't play him. But
Diamond.
we'll see. I just want Sub-Zero to get some buffs, so I'm not. I just feel like so lame, dude. I just feel so lame when I play him. It's like I'm playing
fine.
fighting game. I'm not playing this game. You know what I mean? It just feels so lame. And you know what? Reptile, great overhead. Now is plus. Oh, fantastic. You know how I feel as a Sub-Zero main? You get a plus overhead. I get a fully functional, punishable, seeable overhead.
Wait, what?
Come on, dog.
When did I get an overhead?
Reptile.
Oh, okay. I'm a Scorpion player. Stop saying that.
I didn't say you. I
Yeah, I
said
thought you
Reptile.
had me tripping out. He been had overhead, by the way.
I know he had the overhead. Now it's plus.
But they made it.
used
They
to
made
be
it better.
you could-
Yeah, they should.
That's
And that's the
cra-
thing.
yeah.
Everybody needs buffs like these. Everybody needs this. Like we need stuff like
I'm
this.
sorry.
So
I'm tired.
I'm gonna go back and play.
And three,
Yeah. He.
and 3 times 1. What is it?
No more.
Yeah.
Shut
That's a
up.
magic number.
Stop talking about it.
You just keep going back. You the one who keep doing it.
All right. You ever been? Look, we live in a digital age, and we all know that when people are online, they feel more inclined to be buttholes because there's a little bit of anonymity. You've got a lot of distance, possibly, between you and whoever you're buttholing, and there's no risk like there was back in the 1860s or even the 1880s, if I'm going to be honest. But some people get tired of that. They don't. They
Oh
keep
God, I
it
knew you were
real.
gonna be on his side.
They keep it real. They keep it
I
real
knew you were
through
gonna be on
thick.
his side.
And then you mess with me online. That's no different than being messed with in life. This week, a gamer flew across the country after being to attack his rival in an MMO game that no longer exists because he's about it. That's what we call being about it. He's about it. All right. This article's from, it's all over the place, but the one we're looking at is on Kotaku. A man from New Jersey was charged with attempted second-degree murder after he flew to Florida
Amazing.
and attacked another gamer over a dispute in an MMORPG, which I believe is dead. It's called ArcAge, and the dispute happened 6 months ago. We don't know what happened. We just know they played together. They interacted there. Whatever
Yeah.
happened, our
Yeah,
guy
whatever
from-
happened a long time ago.
Yeah, our guy from New Jersey said, "Ain't no way." His name is Kang, so you know he's about it. You know he's really about it.
Oh yeah,
okay?
by the way, yeah, ArcAge actually only shut down like 2 days ago.
Okay, so maybe I'm a little off, but it is dead. Okay. So, Kang went to whatever happened. He got upset. He researched to figure out who this guy was, where he lived, what his schedule is, and how to get on a flight to go and kill him. He jumped on a plane, went to Jacksonville. The other guy, Din, is in Florida. He had a hammer and a flashlight. On Sunday morning, so last weekend, dressed in all black, wearing a mask, he started bludgeoning him with a hammer. The guy's
It'd
stepfather
be like that.
heard the herd came in, stopped it. They subdued him. They called the police, and I think the most interesting thing is what were they fighting about? What happened in the RPG that needed this? Because I think whatever it is, it's not some. It's not. Look, no one does this because no one does this for no reason. What did he say? Did he talk about his mom? Did he?
Yeah, he probably talked about
steal?
like a dead relative or something. That's what these guys do on these games.
No. I don't know, man. Dead relatives. That's okay. I mean, they're already, But do we have a picture of this guy?
There is a mugshot. They did not put it in this one, but there is a mugshot. They didn't put it in the article we're looking at, though.
Oh yeah. Okay, I seen this type of guy. Oh yeah, Kang. Yeah, I seen a Kang before. Hair a little overgrown. Already got a big head, but looks bigger because of the hair, mushroom style. His
Amazing.
lips don't stretch out. Like, his nose is wider than his lips by a mile. That's what gives it to you. Did you know that? Did you know that?
You're insane. You're insane for that.
You didn't know that? If
You're insane
if
for
your
that.
nose is wider than your lips by more than 4%, you are a
Damn,
lunatic.
we going straight. What is it? Getting the calipers out? Yeah, okay.
You are a lunatic. All right? How do you even eat? How do you even eat? Are you still looking for that
I don't
picture?
know. I don't know what you want me to say to this. Send me. I don't know. I've seen it. I just forgot what he looks like. And by the way, because it's journalism, it's usually for journalism. You kind of, ethically, you try to avoid using people's mugshots. But
Why?
yeah,
Oh, so you don't
Because-
like they're guilty,
put
right?
yeah, don't yeah. You're kind of assuming guilt. You're kind of putting people on Front Street. You're exposing somebody's identity for everybody to basically scrutinize.
Well, he should have
It's
brought.
enough. It's enough. Well, here's the thing. It's already enough that you wrote an article about it. You don't need to add insult to injury by saying, and this is exactly what this person likes and who they are. Because the thing is that there's people who want to know that. They can go find that themselves. You don't need to like do it for them,
No,
basically.
no, do
I'm
it
just,
for 'em.
I'm just, it's just a little,
need to paint a
the more
picture,
you know.
baby.
Shut up. It's just a little more of a, the more you know, actual I work in this industry thing. It's usually unethical to do that.
Well, I mean, this was on the news, so I don't know how much you want to call that journalism because they
It's
have to show you.
I mean, no, they don't have to show you. That's the thing. They never actually have to show you, especially on TV news. It's very like old hat. Like you should not be doing that.
So what
anymore.
about missing
I'm not here
persons?
to I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just telling you.
What about missing
What?
persons? Should we not show them? Because like
That's a
not cool.
completely different fucking thing, Shavar.
It's kind of,
It's not
but
a
it's
kind-
kind of,
No, it's
kind
not.
of-
It's not.
no,
It's not.
hold
It's a
on.
completely different
Hold on.
fucking thing.
If I were
Shavar.
miss-
we're
if
talking
I were
about
missing
crime.
person,
No, Shavar,
then I
Shavar,
come-
stop. No, I'm not gonna let you do this. You're changing topics. You're changing the entire topic. Don't do that. No, dumbass. We're not talking about missing people. We're talking about crime. It's a completely different thing. Don't do that.
if I were a missing person and I came back, I'd be a little
Okay, go ahead
embarrassed.
and tell your
Everybody
little
showed my
fanfic.
face.
All right, all
What
right,
it-
all right. Go ahead and do your fanfic. It's fine.
You ever?
You done? Are you done already?
You ever see that movie called The Dark Knight?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this guy went. I mean, I'm glad he didn't kill the guy. He had a good hammer too. I think he could have killed him. He maybe didn't. I don't know what the guy's injuries are. He's in the hospital. Yeah, severe head wounds. So he really went for it. Blood all over this picture I'm looking at. Yeah, I mean, poor guy from Florida. But I just want to know what was said, because it's not deserved. There's no world where it's deserved, unless there is one. It really depends.
It depends.
What if he told him like I am the Antichrist and
I am the Antichrist? Well, then you're
And I'm
crazy
just
for
playing-
believing him.
I'm just playing MMOs right now because we're on off season, but I'm ready to take this bad boy down. I don't know.
That's kind of insane. You're crazy
Where's
for
that
one.
damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
All right, all right. So number 4, I think the biggest story of the week, because we cut that 25 minutes out of the podcast last week. We should have left it in there because it would have just rolled decently into
Yeah,
this one. All right.
you should just so I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the story. Last week the thing we cut out was a lot of Shavar believes it now because there's an official article out, but last week a lot of journalists. Okay, so let me do the timeline. So last week, a former Twitch employee came out and said, "All right, you know what? Fuck it. Here's why we didn't. Sorry, here's why we separated ways with Dr. Disrespect back in 2020. It's because he was texting a minor inappropriately in 2017. People were speculative, which makes sense. Looking in retrospect, I understand. Like you don't want to believe everything you see on Twitter.
Because you acted like I was crazy.
Okay, let me finish. Let me fucking finish.
I was just making a comment. It's podcast.
I'm not done yet.
I'm not. I know. I was gonna let you go. It's my comment.
That by that one comment, right? I get it. I get if you just see that tweet, you may not want to believe it at first. I don't know why you would care enough to not believe it, especially because these guys are nobodies. But I digress. But then following that tweet, there were a lot of journalists and a lot of people who worked at Twitch recently or are well-known streamers who were kind of like, yeah, we kind of have known about this for a while. And the tweets were coming out over the weekend. They were coming out at the beginning of this week. And then finally, Dr.
Well,
Disrespect
you got to talk
himself.
about the game developer first.
What?
I mean, you're going through the timeline. I thought you were going to hit his game company.
Yeah. Okay. Dude. Okay, let me talk.
Go ahead. Go get it.
If
get
you,
it
if you want to say it, you can. You just
get
that's
rolling,
my thing.
baby.
You always are like stepping all over us. Like, let us talk. Jesus, that's why mom's not here today because you don't ever let her talk. So
that is literally why she's not here today. That's true.
Yeah, that's exactly why she's not here. So anyway, all of this was happening, right? And people were kind of speculative. Of course, the people within his sphere of social media, which is like, the quote unquote, like, men's rights activists or whatever, or, I hate Pride Month because it's Pride Month people or whatever the fuck. They're all like, yeah, we don't know what's going on yet. And other people are like, oh, I already assumed this was happening. So like, we don't have any confirmation yet. So he has a game studio that he was a pretty big partner in. They did their own investigation into the matter and they decided to part ways with him. They said that it was very serious. They said that after seeing the allegations, they decided not to let him go because they wanted to do their own investigation. And then they did their own investigation and let him go. So that already wasn't looking good for Mr. Disrespect, right? About a day later, I think, if I'm recalling this correctly, Dr. Disrespect actually addresses this. He did already address it before. All he said before was like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. I didn't say it. I think he was already kind of implicating he said something a couple days before this because he tweeted out and was like, don't believe everything. I didn't do anything illegal, which is it's very specific to say I didn't do anything illegal. So he issued a statement in playing the character, which I think is interesting because Dr. Disrespect is a character. Like it's not like this is the real guy. For context, he didn't play a character when he came out and said he cheated on his wife and cried on camera, right? So in this character, he uses the long tweet feature to basically say that, yes, he did inappropriately text a minor. In his opinion, he said it, quote unquote, edged on being inappropriate. But he said that no photos were exchanged and nobody met up, which I don't know what the fuck that means. It edged on inappropriate. So he literally admitted that, he talked to kids through the Twitch whisper feature, which is a way to like talk to streamers and to team people, right?
It's a DM system.
Yeah, it's a DM system. Fun fact, this was also the same year that he cheated on his wife in 2017. Just want to put that out there. So he thinks that based on the statement, if you read the statement, right, he kind of implies that he thinks he did nothing wrong because the cops didn't bust into his house and arrest him. Which is,
well, look, can I give my theory?
Very
because I think
interesting.
after like reading stuff, and I think I figured out what happened here. I was talking to the homie about this too. Okay, listen.
No.
Right?
So let me finish. Let me finish first. So
go ahead. What else?
He actually issues this statement. So I'm going to read part of it. Actually, it's a long tweet, so I'm just going to read parts of it.
All right, get to it.
There's a lot of F-bomb. He drops a lot of F-bombs in here. he, is in his character.
Just
So he's
read
like,
it.
the Twitch man. Hello, I'd like to make a quick statement.
You don't
Let's
have to
cut
do
the
a
fucking
voice.
bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. And then he proceeds to not accept responsibility, right? First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio, the game studio that dropped him, by the way. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down, which is a nice thing to say that they fired me. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people. By the way, this is for another weird thing. Diddy did the same thing with the Revolt stuff before all the cases came out about him. It's a thing these guys do where they get fired. Blah 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 blah. That doesn't mean it. He's just saying, thanks to the team or whatever. Next paragraph. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. More context. That's because this reaches into child sexual abuse territory where certain things can't be revealed, especially when it gets into legal territory. Just
I
the
don't think
journalistic thing. People.
okay.
Well, yes, that is exactly what's going on. Because there are a lot of people right now saying there are a lot of people right. There are a lot of people. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. I'm not saying he did it. I'm saying that that's what happens when these cases happen. Is that you can't reveal identities and stuff like that unless that person comes out and reveals their identity. So when it comes to these cases, you usually don't want to say anything. So for all the people saying these journalists knew for 7 years, yeah, they could get into like serious legal trouble if they just spit this stuff out, and then he could have sued them because nothing came out yet. Anyway, now that two former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Okay, this is an important part. Were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much into the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch. That case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear. It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained the conversation to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, of a husband and a father. It should have never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll own my fucking shit. That was stupid. There's some more stuff after this.
Okay.
He basically goes on to say that he doesn't care and he'll be back soon after his little vacation. That's basically all he says.
Okay, well, I appreciate your speaking of journalistic integrity and all that stuff, and that might be true, but I don't think that's what's happened here. Because when you look at the whole picture, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't link up to what we usually see. All right, if it were just simply the case that Mr. Disrespect, no longer a doctor, I think his license has been revoked. If he was texting a minor girl, right? And
You don't know if it was a boy or girl.
yeah, but listen, hold on. If he was doing that and it was found out by Twitch from reading the DMs, and they let him go, and there's a lawsuit, and they pay him, and we don't know who the person is. People have heard what might have happened, but they didn't say, and why didn't they say? And especially at this, I mean, we've had this happen all the time with other people, like Smash players, and people leak DMs and stuff. I was thinking, why is this one so different? Why does it take so long? Why is no one saying what the messages were or who said anything? I think it's because, and then when I think for me, what did it, looking at because when he wrote that tweet, he said texting with an individual minor, texting with an individual, then he switched it back to minor, then he deleted it again, and then deleted it again. I think he was texting with someone he thought was a minor, but it was a beta. Because in any other situation we have, like these young people texting these famous, almost
from nowhere. Okay.
No, listen. Usually these things leak. They tell a friend. They tell someone. They have family. The families don't let these things go. The parents or whatever. None of that happened. I think he was texting one of these pedo baiters. You know, the guys who pretend to be young girls online. They reach out to people. I think he was texting one of those They said, we've got Dr. Disrespect. They go to Twitch and like, look, we've got your fucking, because at the time he was like their big streamer. He was their Ninja at the time, right? Ninja was, Ninja wasn't as popular as it was anymore. It was Dr. Disrespect. We've got your fucking guy. Because why wouldn't Twitch, if Twitch was just looking through DMs and saw this, they could have cut that contract, not have to pay him nothing, get the fuck out of here. They could have leaked that shit like this guy was doing the none of that happened. They didn't have to say anything about names or who. But hold on, let me finish.
That's a perfect world where you're not trying to protect your biggest money maker.
You remember that you did that thing where you talked about a little bit of finish? That didn't happen. I think some dude got it, went to Twitch, says, look, I'm going to leak this shit because this guy's a pedo. Look what he's texting me thinking I'm a 16, 17-year-old girl. Twitch is like, fuck. We can't have this. They called this disrespect. You're like, you're done and gone. Cancel. He's like, he figures out the whole, all that goes through. I don't know if they pay the guy or whatever, the pedo beta guy, whatever, to an NDA, whatever. But then he sues Twitch because they're not going to pay out the rest of his contract. Twitch doesn't want none of this because it makes him look bad. Either they've been paying this dude a lot of money, he's talking to kids on their platform, or they got to come out and talk about how he's talking to kids on their platform, and then everyone knows. So what do? They pay him out the rest of his contract. They sign an NDA. Fuck off. Don't talk about this anymore. People know about it. Twitch staff is talking about it. Maybe, and I'm thinking, it's probably really internal because it's so big. People are hearing about it, but they're not hearing exactly what. So they're telling people, journalists know. You remember that esports writer guy? He was like, I've heard something, but I don't know back then. But they can't confirm who the person is. They can't confirm what the thing is. So the journalists, being journalists, they're not going to say too much. Not because of, I don't think it's so much the minor thing. I think it's, we can't find that source. Not that it doesn't exist, but it's not coming out anywhere. There's nowhere to find it because it was a dude. So the guy got pedo baited. That's why the whole, as no one can talk about it. It's not okay. How does it not make sense?
You're making it up out of nowhere. I don't know.
Why did Twitch have to pay him if he didn't break terms of service?
Because he's one of their biggest stars, and it's like
no. I mean, okay. So Kevin Spacey, when he was put on trial for diddling a young guy, that they're like Netflix, like, oh, we gotta pay the rest of. No, we're done. You got to finish that season. No,
sure, he did get paid the rest of his contract. What are you talking about? You don't even remember how that happened. No, they didn't just drop him and get any money. They still pay these people, sure. Like I don't.
He had a contract for another season. Did he do another season?
No, they paid him out.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. They paid him out. What he's done. Dr. Disrespect. Okay, so you saying somebody can get banned on Twitch and paid the rest of their contract? That's what happens. No,
yes. I think if you're a certain type of person, you're not just any old fucking. Because you said something about Smash players or whatever. Sorry, Dr. Disrespect is not just any fucking Smash player getting their.
What was
Discord
I saying about
DMs
Smash
leaked.
players?
Sorry.
What was I saying about exactly? He's bigger, so why wouldn't it leak? He's bigger. Why wouldn't the girl
they protect
leak
these
it?
Dudes, Shavar. He's one of their biggest.
So
people.
the girl wants to protect the guy. The girl's parents want to protect the guy.
No,
Twitch
that's
wants
not
to protect
what I said. I said
that's
Twitch wants to protect him.
Twitch wants to protect themselves because he makes them look bad.
That requires just acting like nothing happened, because if it comes out that happened on your platform, that looks bad on you as well. So no, Shavar, they don't just want this to come out that they had one of their biggest streamers texting a minor. No, they don't want that to come out. They'd rather just part ways with him and then act like nothing happened, because then otherwise it's like, wait, we let this happen on our platform, we let this slide. Shavar, the way that Twitch would have been lit,
but they wouldn't have been letting it slide. Okay. Listen, hold on.
This is all conjecture anyway. It's just bullshit.
Okay,
coming
right,
from
sure.
nowhere. So I mean,
sure. If they caught him doing something and they said he was doing this, he's gone, they didn't let him slide. They stopped it. If that were the case, I don't think that's what happened. I think whoever he was texting came to them like, look. Because that changes the dynamic of the situation. YouTube all the time.
Okay, so my whole thing about this, Shavar, is I think the opposite of your point. If it was a guy fucking debating him, why wouldn't we just know already?
Because he signed an NDA.
Isn't that the whole reason? Isn't that the whole reason those guys do that? Is to
No, he wasn't doing it. They wasn't doing it for a YouTube channel. Wasn't doing it. No, they were doing it for the money.
It's for extortion. So you think that these guys are getting away with extortion, is what you're saying?
Essentially, yeah.
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, Shavar. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean, but like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because literally you have the exact same thing that happened. Okay. There was a news reporter recently that got baited by these kids who pretended to be a little girl, and they got him. And guess what? Yeah, same thing happened. He got fucking fired. It was publicized anywhere. It wasn't hidden for a year or two.
Why
right?
didn't the newspaper
That's
say
how you
that?
know that this. Huh?
Why didn't the newspaper like, oh, let's terminate this
It was
guy
in the newspaper, it
quietly?
was in the news network.
Why didn't the
They
news
put
network
it. They put it out on. They put it out on blast. They did, Shavar. They didn't terminate him quietly. They put it out on blast because
Yeah, that's what I'm-
what? Okay, my point is, what's the difference between those two situations, and why would they not put the? If it was the same thing, if it was a guy getting fucking baited by grown men, why would they not just put that out there? If that's the case, there's no reason to protect identities at that point. That's why I don't think that what you're saying makes any sense, Shavar. I've seen this before. People have talked about this before with other cases that involved underage children. We don't get to see any of that stuff. A lot of that stuff is underground. It comes out years later. We may not learn anything about this till later on this year, or if the minor's family decides to come out and say something in public, which they may not want to do. That's not a thing that everybody does, is come out and say, let's put it on Front Street that our kid was texting with a big streamer and have everybody come knocking on our door because our kid that could get cyberbullied and harassed online, by the way, was texting with Dr. Disrespect. I completely disagree that this is just him texting a dude, because if that's the case, Shavar, this would be a nothing burger. It would be he got
It's
baited
not a nothing
by some
burger.
guys.
People still would
and then
treat
guess
it the
what?
same.
And then guess what? And then guess what? The guys would have posted the DMs. We would have already heard about it if it was just some guy.
No, I think you're wrong. I think it would think about it. What's bigger, texting an actual minor or texting a guy pretending to be a minor? Which is worse?
Texting a minor.
Okay. Why does it take how long? 4 years for anyone to come out with anything? 7 years for anyone to come out with anything? Because it is a little not as big. Some people kind of don't care a little bit as much. We've signed NDAs and all, like, that's why. Because it's not as big. It wasn't just that. Because I think if this guy were texting this
I think you're
little girl,
underestimating Twitch's need to like protect their brand.
No,
they don't
I'm
want this
not
coming out.
No,
have you noticed how nobody from Twitch has said
they
anything?
protect. Hold on, I said they protected their brand because they signed the NDAs. They might have even paid this guy and had him sign it. That might have happened. They do want to protect their brand. But I think if it's an actual girl, absolutely all of this stuff would have come out sooner. It doesn't make sense for it not to. That person would not still be 18, 17 today. They'd be a grown-ass adult. This guy's making millions of dollars. Maybe they still don't want
to talk about it, and okay, Shavar, but also they settled, so maybe they just don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I don't know why, like, all this stuff is, I don't know why. Okay,
who settled?
First, the victim. Okay,
you don't know that. Where's the evidence that there's a victim in a settlement there? There is none. All we have is the Twitch.
Shavar, yeah, you're going off of just as much information as I am, Shavar.
Yeah, but you're assuming there's a settlement with some girl.
Okay, all right.
I'm saying
I don't know what you want me to say. I'm going off the same info that you're going off of.
Yeah, and I'm saying the evidence that's there. I'm not saying there's extra settlement here with no. I'm saying the evidence that's there and what we've seen out of other situations like this.
Man, he really doesn't want this guy to be a pedo. That's crazy.
No, he's a pedo. He's a pedo anyway. I mean, we don't know what
at the end of the day, Shavar, if he knows that he was not actually texting a minor, why the fuck would he apologize for it so much? Why would
because it come out. He's only apologizing now, 7 years later, after it's this many people have said it's a minor, it's a minor, it's a minor. He put out the tweet. He deleted the part that says minor because in his head it wasn't a minor, it was an individual. They told him to put it back. What the fuck are you doing? Why would you even type that and then type it again? And he deletes it and deletes it again.
Fanfic.
What are you talking about? That's what happened.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
The reason, okay, that's what happened. But your reasoning for it is, I don't know what that reasoning is. Is like, why would he?
My scenario? Where does my scenario not make sense?
Okay, your scenario doesn't make any sense because if I'm the guy who just got accused of pedophilia, right? If I'm the guy who just got accused of being a pedophile, why would I avoid stating the fact that it was not actually pedophilia? That's where you lose me, because now you're a pedophile. You've admitted to talking to a child.
It does because
you're a
it doesn't
pedophile.
matter. You thought it was a child. Everyone knows you thought it was a child. That's why the rumor is that it's a child. It doesn't matter if you say, "Oh, it's actually a guy."
So
and
you
it
just
was-
told me that it's worse to be called a pedophile, but then for some reason he would choose to be called a pedophile over saying
You're
I
a
was talking
pedophile
to a
either
guy
way.
who's pretend-
Look,
okay,
look, if
okay, so
either
that's
way,
why I
you're a
don't- that's
pedophile.
why I don't. That's why I don't understand, Shavar. So I'm kind of
Uh-huh.
done talking about this because I want you to understand everything you just said. You just just made up.
I said it's a theory, and it
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
is,
a
and there's
theory.
not a
Yes,
single
it is a
hole in
theory.
it.
Theories
There's no
can
hole
be
in
things
it.
that there's theories.
It
Can be
explains
things, there's,
every
there's
weird
no
part
holes
of the
in it 'cause you
story.
yes, There's no holes in it because you made the hole. You filled the holes yourself. Exactly. So my
That's what
thing is
theories
that,
do.
Like
Theories fill holes.
yes, exactly. You fill holes with your own conjecture that
Okay,
comes
so-
from nothing.
Okay, so you tell me.
Anyway,
Hold on. It didn't come from nothing. I don't like. That's kind of insulting. You asked me questions, I answered them. Why did I think
you
it's
think
a
a
different?
motherfucker like Dr. Disrespect would not just come out and say, you think, okay, I know what you think is better, right? I understand you think it might be better to just say, oh, it was a minor or whatever for some reason. You
No, I
think
didn't say
Dr.
that.
Disrespect isn't going to immediately clear his name and say, I was not texting a fucking minor?
He did.
Why would he wanna put minor
That's
back?
why he changed the tweet. He deleted
Shavar, do you
minor.
think- And then he put it back in.
Because because people were like, you deleted minor. We saw what you did. That's why. I'm telling you, I get what you're saying. Like, what would it? That's you're acting like this happened like
so
last
if you
week or last
include
month or a year
individual-
ago.
okay,
it's
Shavar,
7
Shavar,
years.
so
He did
all of
try
this
to get
shit is
skirt
based
past
on-
it. People did
Okay,
try to
stop.
ignore it.
Shut up. Okay. All of this is based on you saying that he changed one word in the rest of the apology. That
No,
doesn't make
not-
the rest
not
of the
just-
fucking
no,
apology
it's
make
also
any
based
sense.
on-
Stop. That doesn't make any of the apology make any fucking sense if he's having quote unquote in Shavar, hold on, give me 1 second.
Well, don't tell me to. Okay.
Sorry. If he was baited, why would they not just say that? I don't get it.
Because they don't
You're
know.
just making things
Why
up.
did okay? You know all of this was
The guy
heard
who-
7
so you
years
mean-
ago,
so
right?
you mean the guy?
Okay,
so you mean
wait.
the guy
Let
who
me
put
ask you
the
one
whole
thing.
out?
Let me ask you one
The guy who
thing.
put the whole thing out. Once
Let me
again,
ask you one
me
thing.
talk.
Let me ask one
no,
thing.
No, I
Okay.
don't want to hear any questions. Is it
That's
cool?
what I'm saying. How can you have a conversation about journalism and all this shit? You won't even
Because
answer a
I didn't
question
finish-
and
I didn't
answer.
finish my point, dude.
You're gonna
You
say the same
talk.
thing you said before.
No, I'm not. Now
Okay,
I don't even remember
well,
what I was gonna say
okay.
because you interrupted me. So I don't even remember what I was gonna say. So go
Okay,
ahead.
so answer this question. It's one question. If you answer this, you completely got me. Absolutely, I won't even bring it up anymore. Okay. People knew this 7 years ago. The same accusation about the minors and the texting 7 years ago. Why didn't they say anything then? But today is different.
It's a child sexual assault case, and NDAs probably expired.
Okay, are you sure the NDAs? Why would they write it 7 years? Are you sure the NDAs expired and that's why? Or what does an NDA have to do with journalism? If you find something out, you can't say it because someone else signed an NDA.
People won't talk to you because there's an NDA, so you can't get any information because then they'll receive legal
But
repercussions.
they already heard these accusations. They haven't said any other. I mean, there's literally
I'm
no.
done, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
I'm gassed.
all
I'm
right,
not
thank
talking
you.
about this
Okay.
anymore. I
I got
stand
it.
on my
No, that's
position.
fine.
I don't know.
You answer my question the way I thought it would. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you next
Fuck
week.
off.
Bye.